11.1, ordering integers. What I want you to do is go ahead and hit pause and then copy this down. All right, integer, which is all whole numbers and their opposites. So their opposites would be, for example, 1 and, whoops, this is going crazy on me. 1 and -1 would be their opposites. 2 and -2 are opposite of each other. 3 and -3 are opposite of each other, and so on. So those are integers. Comparing integers would be, for example, less than, greater than. These are less than, greater than signs. We've talked about those many times before. But what you have to look at is, for example, using this chart. Okay, this is your number line. And you have 0 is your starting point. To the right are all positive numbers starting at 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and all the way up infinitely to your right. But to your left are your negative numbers. -1, -2, 3, -4, -5, -6, -7, and the further down you go, and again it's infinite, the smaller the number is. Okay, and if this is crossed out down below here, but it basically says if the numbers are anything going to the left, the smaller it is. So the further left you go, the smaller the number will be. Okay, this is like debt. Okay, money that you owe someone. Okay, so if you owe someone $2, you're $2 in debt. $5 in debt. Okay, $7 in debt. That's worse. That's somebody that you owe money to. Okay, here is a positive. This is what you are saving. Okay, $8 that you saved, that you have in the bank, okay, in your savings account, so to say. Another thing you can think of is temperature, and temperature can also be written on a number line that is vertical, starting at 0, okay, and then going up would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the higher up you go, the warmer the temperature gets. If you want to look at the integers going down, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on, that is getting colder. Okay, so many degrees below 0. So the further down you go, I get down here to where it's -40 degrees. All right, it's a larger number, but it is much colder. It's a smaller amount. Okay, it's actually smaller. So we'll talk a lot more about this in class tomorrow as well. So comparing the set of each integer, you're going to want to use that number line, knowing that on that number line, sorry, my line's crooked, on that number line, remember, anything that is further to the left, the smaller the number is. Further to the right, the larger it would be. So we start here with -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. -5 is here, -3 is here. Remember, further left, the smaller it gets. So my -3 is a larger number. -3 is warmer than -5 degrees. Okay, so this answer would be greater than. Okay, -3 is greater than -5. If you want to use the vertical number line, -3 is here, -4, -5. Okay, so it is warmer. It's higher up the scale would -3 be. Okay, 5 and 0, again, using our number line, we've got 0 here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's -5, -1, and so on. 0 is larger than -5. You're better off having no money than owing someone $5. Okay? 0 is greater than. Looking at your 6 and negative 1, okay, we have negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, which is larger? Looking at this, anything further to the right is larger, further to the left is smaller. Here's my 1, here's my 6. Therefore, 6 is larger. It is greater than. And again, using the vertical scale, here is my 6, here's my 0, here's negative 1. Okay, it is warmer. 6 degrees is warmer than negative 1 degrees. 2 and negative 2. Here's my 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, which would be negative 2. Which one is further to the left would be my negative 2, so it is less than. Okay, so 2 is greater than a negative 2. Remember, the larger part always goes towards the larger number. The small little point points to the smallest number. Last one, or next one, says order each set of numbers from least to greatest. Least to greatest. So again, it's using that number line. Okay. Here's my 0. I'm going to look at positive 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be negative 4. 11 is going to be out here, and my negative 25 is all the way over here. Okay, so looking at this, okay, and I know that these are not always equal to that distance. Okay, we're just guesstimating. What you have to think about is working from left to right. Okay, we are talking least to greatest, so it's going to go from the smallest number to the greatest number. Okay, so since 25 is going to be much further out than negative 4, that's why my negative 25 is the first. Then it's going to be negative 4. Then it will be the next number we have, which is 3. And the last one is 11. Okay, so you just need to make certain, it doesn't matter about all these little spaces through here. Obviously, they're not equivalent from negative 4 to negative 25. Okay, you just need to know that negative 25 is much further left than my negative 4. Now, if I had a negative 15, then it would be somewhere in the middle of this. Okay, and so forth. This one again, using your number line, we're going to start with 0, and we're just a 2 off, so there's my positive 2. 3 is one more, okay, so we use those. 30 is my other positive number. It's going to be much further out, okay? And then I'm going from this direction, starting with negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, okay? And I'm going to then come to negative 6 before I get to negative 18. So there's negative 6, and my negative 18 would be out here further off to the left as well. So my numbers then will be negative 18, negative 6, and then it went to, I crossed those out, 2, and then a positive 3, and then my positive 30. Okay, that is putting them in order from least to greatest and so forth. Okay, if you have questions, again, we're going to discuss this further tomorrow and do some hands-on type of activities as well, and do some stuff at the front of the classroom to help get a little better understanding. Have a great night.